Okay, so today we are going to keep learning more about implicit differentiation. Okay, so in this problem they are telling you to consider the curve given by the equation y cubed plus y squared minus 5y minus x squared equals -4. And they are asking you to find dy dx as usual. And you're like, okay, so we can do this directly. Okay, so you know that it's going to be 3y squared dy dx plus 2y dy dx. Then you have that it's -5 dy dx, -2x, nothing equals 0. Okay, so you have the situation, you realize that I have my dy's here, therefore you have dy dx is going to be equal to, and you're like, I'm not so sure, I passed this one to the other side, so I have that one is the only one that I have on the other side, divided by 3y squared plus 2y minus 5, and that's your dy dx. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question is pretty typical. Okay, so write the equation of the tangent line to the curve at the point 1, -3. What are you going to do? Basically what they are telling you is you need to plug dy dx for the point 1, -3, and you're going to plug these points instead of x and y. Okay, so you do it naturally. Your x is 1, okay, your y is -3, so you just plug it there. Okay, minus 5, extend that line so it looks pretty. Okay, after that you're like, okay, this is 2, this is 27, this is -6, this is -5, and then you combine them and you have that this is 2 over 16, which you know that it's 1 over 8. Okay, and you know that this is your slope. Okay, since we know that we have the slope, then you have your point, okay, which is this one, and then you use the point slope, thus, okay, the equation of the tangent line at 1, -3 is going to be y plus 3 equals 1 over 8 times x minus 1. The end. That's it. Okay, let's move on to C. Okay, so C, it tells you, okay, find the coordinates of the points on the curve where the line is tangent to the curve is vertical. Okay, so first, when you have a tangent line that it's vertical, what's going to be the slope? You know that the slope here is going to be undefined. Okay, so that's kind of weird, but you know that this is happening. Okay, so what are you going to do? Technically what you have, so you can visualize, you have that this is your beautiful curve. Okay, so you do have some vertical lines that you can see. I know that here, here, here you have a bunch of vertical lines. Okay, so apparently I have 4. Okay, so it's pretty clear that I have those vertical lines there. Okay, that's why I share that visual with you. Okay, so to have your slope undefined, what happens? Okay, remember this is the equation that you have for the slope. Okay, so what you're going to do is, you know that if the denominator is 0, then your slope is undefined, so we want the denominator. Okay, and we're going to let my denominator, which is what? I'm going to let my 3y squared plus 2y minus 5 to be equal to 0. Okay, so if I do this, you can easily see that I can basically factor this. Okay, if I factor, this is going to be 3y plus 5 times y minus 1 equals 0, and boom, what happens? So you have that y is going to be equal to -5 divided by 3, and your other solution is going to be y equals 1. Okay, so you are going to have two cases. Okay, my first case for y equals negative 5 over 3, what you have here is you are going to plug this value inside your original equation. Okay, and you are going to solve for x. Okay, solve for x, the original. Okay, the original. Okay, so if you do that, what happens? Okay, this is your original. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have y, which is negative 5 over 3 cube plus negative 5 over 3 square minus 5 times negative 5 over 3 minus x squared is equal to negative 4. So obviously you are going to solve for x, so you have that x squared is going to be equal. Okay, so I'm going to pass it to the other side, so I have all this chunk. Okay, here, here, and here, and then I combine it. Okay, when I combine this equation, I have that, of course, I plug it in the calculator, 283 divided by 27. Okay, and you're going to be like, what in the world, what are you going to do? Square root. Okay, so you have x is equal to plus minus, okay, plus minus what? 849. When I plug it in the calculator, I got this beautiful number, okay, divided by 9. Okay, so you have 2 points from this equation. First point, it's going to be root 849 positive, comma, or you can put the negative first, divided by 9, comma, and what was it? Negative 5 over 3. Okay, the second point is a positive version of that point. Okay, divided by 9, negative 5 over 3, and we already found 2 points. Okay, by the way, we found, if you see, we found this guy and this guy. Okay, over here, oops, sorry, this one and this one. Okay, so now we need to find the other two. Okay, so we have that for y equals 1, you know that you're going to have an expression that looks like this one. Okay, so I'm going to reuse that one. X squared is going to be equal to 1 cubed plus 1 squared minus 5 times 1 plus 4. Okay, and that one is much easier to compute. Okay, so what do you have from this equation? Wow, you have that this is the surprising number 1. Okay, when you take the square root, you know that x is going to be equal to plus minus 1. Therefore, your other 2 points are going to be negative 1, comma 1, and positive 1, comma 1, and that's pretty much what you have for this equation. So we found these 2 points as well. Okay, so remember, if they tell you that the curve is vertical, your slope is undefined, so you need to make sure that your denominator is equal to 0. Okay.